A watchdog group for children in state custody says those kids are often not being searched correctly. Thanks so much for joining us at 5, everyone. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Kim Christensen. The group says it reviewed more than 1,000 searches and found more than 1,000 policy violations. 9 News investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola reviewed this watchdog report and shares with us why this group says children can be re-traumatized during searches like this.
Yeah, Kim, these are children who are locked up in state-run facilities for juvenile offenders. And according to this independent watchdog group, the state is not following rules already in place when it comes to strip searches. Today, this report was released by the Child Protection Ombudsman of Colorado. This office says it's reviewed 1,009 strip searches that occurred in facilities between January of 2023 and March of 2024, a little more than a year. In many of those strip searches, the office found policy violations like a lack of proper approval by supervisors, a lack of the right staffing being present, a lack of documentation, and a lack of reason given for the search. In all, the office says it found 1,006 policy violations, and sometimes one strip search had multiple violations. The group also says these searches turned up contraband only about 10% of the time. The office says recent rules put in by the state are not being followed.
We're trying to keep staff and kids safe, right? And the way we do that is we search them. However, there are rules that require us to search youth in a very certain way. As you well know, a lot of these youth are previous child abuse victims, sex assault victims. And so the manner in which we search them, right, is important. What we found in our investigation is that we don't have data about if these searches are effective.
In the meantime, Colorado's Human Services Department says it's reviewing the concerns in this report and says that their staff is trained to balance personal privacy while also taking a trauma-informed approach. The report calls for more transparency and oversight, so these searches are only used when truly necessary. Live in the newsroom, Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
Oh, that was the question I asked, how often you have to do these. So there's a lot that they need to look at and review.
Yeah, very much so, Kim.
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Taking a live look outside now, a nice warm day around Denver and a beautiful live picture out there right now. We almost dipped into the 80s, by the way, last day of September, right? Our weather impact team is tracking a mostly warm week ahead as well.
Yes, that's right, Phil. A beautiful end to September. For Kim and I, it's our favorite month out of the year. We love September. And why not? Look at the leaves changing now along the Front Range and just even highlighted more so by those cumulus clouds across the Continental Divide. With any amount of moisture and heating of the day, you'll get an isolated shower. I was watching one nearing the Buena Vista area, which again, the color is spectacular. Temperatures today, upper 70s, so above average by about 5 degrees. We could go warmer tomorrow. Been monitoring the wind over some of the higher passes. Hasn't been a big feature, but we're in between storm systems. The upper level low that was south of us is now east of us, responsible for all the showers we saw yesterday and the day before. And we have a new storm approaching from the west. So we have a little bit of moisture coming into western Colorado and the chance for an isolated shower west and south of Denver later tonight around 7 or 8 o'clock. It will be a brief shower, but it may be a heavy shower, and then that's probably going to be it for about the next 72 hours. Temperatures in the 70s now will stay there until probably about 10 o'clock tonight. Then we'll drop into the 60s. Coming up, we're going to track isolated showers on the radar for you again, and then talk about a summer-like feel to October, which begins tomorrow.
A teenager will spend 35 years in prison for a deadly shooting that happened in Aurora. It happened last March during a party at a rental hall right along North Tower Road. Prosecutors say 17-year-old Xavier Garcia shot and killed a 19-year-old man who was standing near where a fight broke out. Garcia was arrested and charged as an adult. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 35 years in prison.
Almost 8 months after a viral video showed a man and a teenager clashing with protesters in downtown Denver, that man has struck a plea deal. David Halverson was originally facing 9 charges, including 7 felonies tied to the bias-motivated crimes. The video from February showed someone throwing a glass bottle from his truck. Police say racial slurs were also shouted at the crowd. Last week, Halverson pleaded guilty to just 1 misdemeanor, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The rest of the charges against him were dropped. He'll be sentenced next month.
We are also learning more about a man wanted for murder who's accused of shooting at officers in Brighton last month. Court records show James Benavides had violated probation twice after a felony conviction last year. Prosecutors say he went on a violent spree last month in Adams County, accused of killing a pregnant woman, attempting a carjacking, stealing a car, and firing shots at officers during a chase. 9 News Investigates obtained records showing a judge issued a no-bond warrant for him just 2 months earlier after he failed to check in with his probation officer. That arrest warrant was still active last month during that violent spree.
This instance is just another example how they have watered down the criminal law to benefit somebody like this. You know, the criminal justice system is really a system of a lot of chances. And these guys get a lot of chances.
Benavides now faces 24 felony charges, including first-degree murder. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
The Jefferson County coroner is asking for help identifying a man found dead in Lakewood earlier this month. Officials say the man was found 3 weeks ago today near West Colfax Avenue and Pierce Street. They believe he was between the ages of 25 and 45 years old, had reddish-brown hair, green eyes. If you have any information about this person, reach out to the Jefferson County Coroner's Office.
The mayor of Loveland has called a special meeting to discuss the closure of the city's only overnight homeless shelter for adults. A temporary shelter is closing tonight because its funding is expiring. It's a move that has not sat well, as you'd imagine, with people in the community. So the mayor has requested a special council meeting this Thursday to talk about an extension. We're going to hear more about the impact of this closure at a city councilman's take on it coming up at 6 tonight with Kyle Clark.